The buying of gold by the world's central bankers surged ahead in the last part of 2023. In most years, the Russian central bank has been the largest purchaser of gold. Between 2017 and 2022, the Russian central bank was by far the largest purchaser. Russia, Turkey, India, and China were the largest buyers of gold, and together they accounted for almost 60% of all central bank purchases. However, in 2023, the China central bank briefly surpassed Russia. The economic sanctions that were imposed on Russia because of the Ukraine war caused their revenues from energy exports to decline. This made it necessary for Russia to divert resources that otherwise would have been used to buy gold. During 2023, China assumed the role of the largest central bank purchaser of gold. Now it appears that the Russian central bank is preparing to resume its gold purchases in large amounts. Central bank purchases of gold began to rise in about the year 2000. It was at that time many countries began to amass enormous annual spending deficits and sovereign debt. Today, the U.S. national debt exceeds 121% of the nation's gross domestic product, GDP. While that is an astronomical amount, many other so-called advanced countries have also incurred large national debts. Notably, Japan's national debt is more than 260% of that country's GDP. The national debt of Greece, Singapore, Italy also exceed the U.S. as a percentage of GDP. The national debt of Portugal, France, Spain, and Canada are also greater than their annual GDP and trail closely behind the U.S. as a percentage of GDP. The U.S. national debt recently surpassed $34 trillion. The interest alone on the national debt in 2023 reached $659 billion. That cost is expected to rise as additional annual budget deficits are added to the total, and as interest rates are expected to rise as well. The interest service alone is expected to exceed the entire defense budget by 2025. It is difficult to imagine that these trends can be reversed. It is very likely that the price of gold will keep pace and rise as the national debt grows. The enormous accumulation of sovereign debt has caused many to see the dollar and other fiat currencies as unstable. This is an especially serious subject because the US dollar has served as the world's principal reserve currency for many years. In 2022, the US dollar was bought or sold in about 88% of all global foreign exchange transactions. It is easy to understand that the debasing of the dollar by the federal government and the Federal Reserve would cause great concerns among other countries. In 2019, Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad proposed a new currency be created that would be based on gold. At the moment, we have to depend upon the US dollar, but the US dollar is also not stable. So the currency that we propose should be based on gold because gold is much more stable. Thank you for watching. If you would like to see more videos on this subject, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you leave a message below, I will respond. Remember, always do your research and consult with financial professionals before making investment decisions. The information provided in this video should not be construed or relied on as investment, accounting, legal, or other professional advice under any fact or circumstance. You also might like to check out my pages on Facebook and Rumble, the Global Macro Digest are, and see my books that are featured there.